Hi, I'm Connie Sue. Let's applique. In this video, I'm going to show you how to stitch the little caps at the top of our baubles. This is in my quilt, Anne's Lyrical Christmas. These particular little caps I have done in a gold lame. I have some here. The kind I use has a tricot backing. The one I'm using is white. You can also get it with a black backing. The tricot backing, while it's a little stretchy, not real bad, it does add stability and body to the lame, and I much prefer working with it than a straight lame. I have a sample here. I do quick prep applique, which means I have traced the pattern on the wrong side of my background fabric. I have also gone ahead and appliqued, or couched, I guess you should say, the gold braid in place. I'm now ready to put the cap at the top. We'll flip to the back, and using a fine pin, I am going to mark the placement of that cap with these pins. I only need two. I am going to mark the top edge, and I'm going to mark the bottom, one side, the side that we will be appliquing. When we flip it over, we can see exactly where I should be placing that cap. Okay, let's prepare our gold lame. I've taken a rectangle, I don't know, maybe 1.25 inches by 1 3/4 inches. It can be any size. It just needs to be big enough that you feel comfortable handling it. It could be bigger, it could be smaller. The choice is yours. I am going to take and I'm going to turn under approximately 1/4 inch. It's very easy to do. The gold lame has little ridges in it, and you can just follow one of those ridges. Let's see. I'm going to base this in place. I will want to have a knot at the end so it doesn't pull through. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to base down about 1/8 inch following a ridge on the lame. Makes it very easy to tell that you're right on grain. I'm going to base clear to the end here. This is the first side that I will be appliquing. Okay, when I get down here to the end, I go ahead and turn under the top edge. I've just done the side. I'm going to make a nice pretty little corner. I have a very difficult time doing 1/8 inch. Mine comes out a little bit wider than that. That's okay. Take a little bitty stitch right in the corner there to hold that in place so that my corner stays nice and square. And then I need to base down here, maybe 3/4 inch to 1 inch. It isn't necessary to go the whole length of this. The actual cap is probably only about 1/4 inch square. It just isn't very big. There we have the basis of our cap. Can go ahead and cut our basting thread. We've already found the position where we want to place this right here. I'm going to put it over the gold braid. I am also going to take and base this in place. I have tried doing this without basting it, and I have a tendency to pull it, and I don't want it pulled. So I am going to, it shifts on me, so I'm not going to let it pull or shift. I'm going to base this down. Now I know that gold braid is floating around out there. That's okay. I'm just going to do a little bit of a rectangle here, out here in the, there we go, so that I know that this, and then I can tuck my gold braid underneath when it comes time to applique it. So let's get a needle with 100 weight gold silk thread. The gold matches the lame, so it's great for the applique. Silk thread is very fine and works just beautifully on this project. Okay, I'm going to start. I said the cap is about 1/4 of an inch, and it is. So I'm going to start about a 1/2 inch down here, so I have an area that will be underneath the bauble when I applique the bauble. And I'm just going to applique it right down to, oopsie. You know, this always happens when you're giving a demo. There we go. You get threads right where you don't want them. Make lots of tiny little stitches. Get right down to that point and anchor it well. So I'm just about to the point. Another stitch should see me there. Okay, and here we go. We're going to do a point right there. Okay. Now, I have found that if I take a stitch through that gold braid, it has a tendency to spread apart and ravel. So I am not going to do that. I am going to stitch it beside the gold braid, and then I'm going to take a big stitch over to the other side and anchor that well. At this point, I don't really care what the box, the rectangle for the cap on the other side looks like. Instead, I am going to be looking at my project from the front, and I want my cap to extend. And you know, I have a pin in here yet. Let's get those out of there. They'll make it much easier to applique. Okay, I am looking at the front, and I am looking at this extension from the point here to the braid. I want on the other side from the braid to the next point to be about the same so it looks balanced. So I'm going to take another little bite here, and that looks like it's coming really, really well. I am going to go ahead then and anchor the point that I've got. Okay. And then I am ready to remove my basting threads. And I know you probably can't see those white threads real well. To be perfectly honest with you, I can't either. But we're going to get them out of there. Let me use a... We'll get them, I'll use a seam ripper and try and find them where they are. I have to admit, with the lighting, I'm having a hard time with it. There we go. There, we took the whole thing out. Okay, and let's get the other one out too. We had 2 basting threads in here, and we can take them. This one isn't going to want to come out willingly. We'll just let it be for the moment. We'll get it in a little bit. Okay, I am now going to take and using those ridges in my lame, I'm going to cut a seam allowance of about, between 1/8 and 1/4 of an inch. And I'm just going to run right down here. And now I have trimmed. It is now time to take, I really do need to get that basting thread out of there. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to take and using a applique turner, in this case I have a cuticle stick, I am going to take and turn under my edge, look it over, be sure it's nice and even, looks good going down there, very good. Okay, here we go, a stitch or so right in the point or the corner. I did that before I turned it. Now I'm going to go down this side. I only need to go down about 1/2 inch. The cap itself is only about 1/4 of an inch deep, and that will leave another 1/4 of an inch underneath, there we go, the bauble. And that is a great plenty. Once you get down here, you can, if you want to, baste across the bottom end and go ahead then and knot it. I'll do that in just a second. Need to remove as much of this basting thread as we can. And now I can go ahead and trim the base. Come in, just cut it off. Now I have left the gold braid yet because I'm not ready to applique the bauble, and I don't want it fraying, so I will deal with that later. In the meantime, I'm going to take this thread to the back side. I am going to knot it, and we have our little gold cap all ready. Let's get a little closer so you can see it a little bit better. There you go. In place, ready for the bauble. By the way, the bauble will be on the next video, so look for that. Thank you for watching. This video has been presented to you by Apple Blossom Quilts. I'm Connie Sue. Happy appliquing.